Mbappe giving Real Madrid at that point a 6-2 aggregate scoreline. And by the time Nico put one into the back of the Real Madrid net, this tie was long since over. The Blues will go back to Manchester and concentrate on domestic matters. They'll want to make sure they're back in the Champions League again next season. And when they are, they'll have learnt an enormous amount from this particular campaign and this particular evening. You could just sense that it wasn't the Blues' night when John Stones went off with an injury. And the fact that Haaland couldn't participate because of an injury he picked up as well just seems not only to sum up this particular 90 minutes, but City's campaign. Injuries have continued to cause City problems. I think in the circumstances, it proved to be an injury too many tonight. So the final score here in Madrid at the Bernabeu, Real Madrid 3, City 1. The Blues are out 6-3 on aggregate. Well, let's go back to the studio as David James and Steve Howey can reflect on, well, a night that we will write off quickly. Natalie, over to you.
Thank you so much to Alistair Mann and to Nicky Weaver for the brilliant commentary of tonight's game. And it is heartbreak Blues as we go out of the Champions League. 3-1 on the night, 6-2 on aggregate. I am a lot more upset and heartbroken than I expected to be, given before the game we knew it was an uphill. We knew it was an uphill struggle, but the pain of going out of the Champions League is real. Joined in the studio by David James and by Steve Howey. Oh, Steve, I feel really, really upset and really deflated. Have you got anything you can say to me?
Well, I think you've just got to dust yourself off and go again. But I think Weaves had mentioned something in there when he was doing the commentary there, that the performance itself was probably not a one that they would have expected. I think they would have expected to give a little bit more. Not give a little bit more, because that's kind of wrong on the players, but just kind of push themselves in the fact of causing Madrid more problems. I don't think that they really did. I think it was pretty comfortable for Real Madrid. Yeah, we're getting the goal right at the end, but ultimately I think it's the Mbappe show. I mean, he's got three very good goals. He could have had another one. There was a couple of other chances, but a disappointing night for City. But look, listen, it happens, and you just got to dust yourself off. I'm sure the manager and the players will be saying that. Yes, it's a blow, it's disappointing, but we've still got stuff to play for this season. So they've just got to, have a word with themselves, look at themselves, maybe look at the game, what can they do better, and then move on.
Yeah, we have to. We have to move on quickly. We have to keep fighting, make sure we get into that top 4, possibly top 5 of the Premier League, so we seal a place in the Champions League for next season, of course. In terms of tonight, Kylian Mbappe will certainly be taking the headlines. A hat-trick for him. That's 28 goals in all competitions this season for him. Considering he had a very slow start his time at Madrid as well, he is playing with some confidence, and indeed he did tonight as well. A word on their third goal, David, which was all about him.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the third goal now. It seems such a long time ago. I think you said it right there. I mean, we've come up against a player who, full of confidence, full of ability, and the team just effectively played around him. And as Steve said, I think the City players will have to look at it as part of the process, isn't it, after a game? But when you come up against such brilliance in the form that he was tonight, then sometimes you just have to hold your hand up.
Before the game, I was gutted that we weren't in Madrid, because FG and Steph looked like they were having the most wonderful day. Now I'm quite happy to be here, because I'm going to go home to my bed and have a little cry on my own in my own bed in Manchester. We are going to go back over now to Madrid, where FG and Steph are pitchside.
Yeah, full time from the Bernabeu. Not City's night at all, and not City's night over the two legs, you could say.
No, I think especially in that first leg, if we could have taken a lead into this game, it might have been a bit different, but it wasn't the ideal start, of course. I think when you're playing against the likes of Mbappe, he likes that ball over the top, and 3 goals tonight, and we just couldn't really contain them, to be honest.
And now if you look behind us, you can see De Bruyne there and Ilkay Gundogan, 2 legends of the club thanking our away section who have been absolutely brilliant,
Yeah,
regardless
they've
of
been amazing.
all the circumstances, still there in their numbers, still making noise. I mean, I guess now it's just a case of another lesson for the season, and another sort of situation where we have to move forward. We've had a tough season, we've had an incredible few years under Pep, and we've still got a competition like the FA Cup we're still involved in, and the race for the top 4 in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. I think even though it's hard to take tonight, obviously you want to be in the Champions League, you want to be in them latter stages, and we probably give ourselves a little bit of a tough task in terms of the qualifying and the potential of meeting Real Madrid. But yeah, it hasn't been the most consistent of seasons, but I think what these boys and the staff and Pep's done for this football club is, especially the last 4 years, been unbelievable. And sometimes you can't win them all every single time, and this is definitely a team that's probably going to go under a bit of a transition. Young players coming in. You look at Kusanov tonight. I thought he played really well. I thought he did what he had to do against Vinicius, and we have to look forward, and that starts Sunday against Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. And a first goal for Manchester City for Nico as well at the end. A Marmoush free kick, which could have gone in itself off the bar and then off Courtois into him. But I think tonight's all about our supporters in the top corner. Absolutely amazing again, as always. Travelling their numbers. Unfortunately, no more European trips for the rest of the season. But a Club World Cup to look forward to in the summer, and hopefully a good cup run and a race for the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to look forward to, and that's what football's about. You've always got something else to look forward to, and hopefully we can maybe spoil Liverpool's party a little bit on Sunday. That's first and foremost. But yeah, I mean, look, even though we weren't at our best tonight, there's so much more to come from this team, and yeah, them supporters have been absolutely unbelievable for the whole day when we were in Madrid, but also the whole of them games. So I'm sure they'll be there on Sunday as well.
Yeah, thank you to the supporters, and of course a massive thank you to you, Steph. It's been a pleasure. We've had a good time regardless of the result, and we will see you soon. We're checking out from Madrid and we're heading back to the studio.
Yeah, get home safe to FG and to Steph and to all of the travelling Blues out in Madrid. Thank you for your support as always, and thank you so much to FG and to Steph. Loved their work in Madrid today. So it has finished 6-2 on aggregate, 3-1 on the night, 1-1 in the second half.
Yes.
That was a positive there from David James. We're doing our best here, as always. Another positive that we can take from the night, of course, is a goal for Nico, a first goal for the club for Nico. Of course, he had that brilliant display against Newcastle at the weekend, which is now backed up tonight. And then with the goal, it's a slim positive, Steve, but when we're looking for them, it's great that he has had a good start to life in a City shirt.
Yeah, and getting his first goal as well. When I was just looking at the highlights of Nico against Newcastle, and we obviously touched on him before the game. He loves a challenge. He likes to play those little balls in between. I thought he was trying to do that tonight, but couldn't. It was difficult with the way that Madrid had set up. But obviously, for him to get his first goal, it's a good free kick from Marmoush. Obviously, it hits the crossbar, hits the goalkeeper, and it's just there to tap in. Obviously, a little bit of a debate about whether it was onside or offside, but it was clearly onside. But good news for him that he gets his first one, and whilst there'll probably be scant kind of happiness about it, it is in the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, so he can just sort of say, oh, where just got your first goal, you know. So it's not a bad thing to say, but as I said, him and the rest of the players will probably just move on from that.
And it came from a Omar Marmoush free kick, and you were dying to see a Marmoush free kick in the game. It hit the bar, and Nico was straight in there, quick, off, ready to pounce on it.
Yeah, I mean, he'd had the free kick a couple of minutes earlier, which Rudiger got his face in front of, which you'd expect from Rudiger. But this one was a little bit further out. The first free kick was literally on, and it wouldn't have changed the outcome of who went through. But McAtee's got elbowed in the head, what looked like on the line, but the free kick was given literally centimetres outside the box. As I say, Marmoush hits the wall. The second one just central, 24 yards out, as Nicky Weaver said in commentary, and it's a beautiful free kick. Courtois may have had it covered. I mean, he's a big lump, but unfortunately for the goalkeeper, it's hit the crossbar, hit his back, fallen to Nico, and like Steve says, Ali will be saying this in commentary, hopefully for years to come. Oh, Nico with another goal. His first goal was a Bernabeu in the Champions League against Real Madrid, but he didn't really get a chance to celebrate. First of all, because it was at the end of a 3-1 defeat, but also it took an age to work out whether it was offside or not. And fortunately for him, it wasn't. He got his goal, deserved it, as you say. And if you take positives from it, and he should, from his Newcastle performance, from the performance today, the fact that Liverpool drew today means that there's a chance against Liverpool to take whatever positivity into this, as you say, to get back into the Champions League or cement that Champions League qualification place.
Before we move on, is there anything else about tonight either of you'd like to say, or shall we draw a line now and look ahead?
I would rather have that performance and go out than the best performance and go out.
Oh, I wouldn't. No.
Because when you put your best performance in and get beat, you think, what more can we do?
I like what more can we do?
Yeah,
no, as in you can't do any more. I mean, going back to Kylian Mbappe, I mean, he scored 3 completely different types of goals, and each one of them, even with the third one, step over and smash into the bottom left-hand corner, he showed why he has always been rated as one of the best players in the world. When you come up against that kind of quality and they're on their day, I mean, I think he had 6 or 7 shots in a game. You just have to hold your hands up sometimes.
I think that's the thing as well. I mean, that's why you have quality players. Because, yes, he's had a couple of half chances and he scored 3 goals. For me, in the game as a whole, I don't think he did a great deal. But when he comes alive is when he gets the ball. And so he's had 6 shots here and he scored 3. That's why Kylian Mbappe is worth that amount of money and he scored so many goals. Given, in fact, as well, as you said, rightly so, that he started the season actually not the best. And that's what the difficult thing is. That's why I suppose the forwards get the most money, because they can be rubbish all through the game. Get one chance and stick it in the back of the net and win the game 1-0, and everybody's sort of shouting about them. And really you're thinking, you've been rubbish, but yet he scored. But that's the way it goes.
And Erling will probably be back Sunday.
Hopefully. We hope. We sincerely hope, because, of course, that's it. Football continues, and we look to our next game. Sunday, 4:30 p.m. kickoff in the Premier League. City take on the league leaders, Liverpool. It comes thick and fast, doesn't it? It comes thick and fast in football. Fingers crossed Erling Haaland will be back for that game. Now, Liverpool played this evening in the Premier League against Aston Villa, and the game finished 2-2, which means Liverpool currently still top, of course, of the Premier League. They are now 8 points clear of Arsenal in second place. They're on 61, Arsenal on 53, Forest 47, and then we currently sit in 4th on 44. But it's really tight, obviously. Bournemouth in 5th on 43, Chelsea in 6th on 43 as well. So we've just mentioned it there. We've got to focus. We've got to regroup. We've got to concentrate, because it's, we've gone out the Champions League tonight. Now what I'm thinking about is that we must be in the Champions League for next season. We've got to keep picking up points in the league. And hey, there's a tough one, Steve. It's a tough one. It's Liverpool at home, and we've had some incredible games against Liverpool over the years. What are you thinking ahead of Sunday?
Obviously, the neutral will be wanting to watch it and be wanting a spectacle and wanting goals. I think both sets of fans will be as well. But, for both teams, really, I mean, if Liverpool's got eyes on winning the league, these are the games that you want to play in. Again, mentioned before, games where, if you win, it obviously pushes them even closer to it. But for Manchester City, they'll be looking at it and thinking, right, we've gone out of the Champions League. Obviously, the FA Cup and now the Premier League, we've got to give ourselves the best chance of getting as high up as the league as absolutely possible. And it starts with the game against Liverpool. Liverpool's obviously got 3 fronts to look at. Obviously, the shock result against Plymouth. But yeah, I mean, these games are brilliant games, brilliant atmosphere as well. But certainly the City players, the lads will be coming back, and they will have to look at that performance tonight. And I'm pretty sure they'll be like, right, I need to change this, need to change that, and that'll give them that boost for that big game on Sunday.
Yeah, of course, Liverpool top of the league, David, but if we can take any sort of hope ahead of the game, of course, a draw with Villa tonight. They did have that defeat to Plymouth, of course, a much-changed team. But there is, a little chink in that armour there.
Well, I think what's interesting is, having drawn with Everton, with a late equaliser against Everton, the talk at the time was that it felt like a defeat, even though they got the point. I thought it was a good point, personally. Today they were 2-1 down, got it, well, actually I think 1-0 up, 2-0, 2-1 down, 2-2, and then a big chance to win it, possibly, was missed. they might see that as a defeat. And all these little things about the psychology going into the game. City's situation was simple. They had to beat Real Madrid by an extra point. Liverpool had a chance of winning. So I think if there's going to be a chink, then confidence and who goes into that game and starts that game with confidence has the best chance. And City have been, in recent form, winning, losing. Today was a loss. Suggest the next one could be a win.
Oh, I hope so, David. That would just be lovely, wouldn't it? Thank you. David, thank you very much for being here. Steve, thank you for being here. We appreciate the effort to get here today. And David, you are back on Sunday. You're on Matchday Live. In case you didn't know, I'm just letting you know. You're on Matchday Live on Sunday alongside Paul Dickoff. Of course, Kel will be in the studio with you. 4:30pm kickoff on Sunday, so Matchday Live will be with you an hour and 15 before that. So tune in. Kel and David and Paul will talk you through that game. We're going to finish tonight, Blues, with a trailer for a brand new series that's coming to City Plus next week. It's called City Stories, and the first episode is about what is possibly the most viral moment. I want to know what this is. The most viral moment in City history. So take a look at this, Blues. Hopefully it'll make you smile, and we'll see you on Sunday.
This was an unusual moment at City.
I remember the game obviously for a few reasons.
By Quinn, who drives for goal and finds it.
Looks a bit like me, long feet. Great finish from Quinner.
Now how serious will this be? Tony Houghton sent off, and he threw his gloves there at the referee.
I reckon that's an 8-game ban nowadays.
The good part of that was my fists weren't in it.
The jersey's got to come off, and who will put it on for Manchester City?
I'd love to do that, it looks fun.
I think the jersey's hanging out over my shorts. I didn't look the part at all.
I could do a job in there.
Every time he touches the ball, he gets a standing ovation.
Quinny embraced it as well, giving it all that. No, stop.
I think that is up there in terms of the unique moments of City in that period of time.
Yeah, I think if this happened today, it would be maybe one of the most viral things ever.